Next to Japan, where a magnitude 6.1 earthquake has struck Tokyo today. The quake there sent buildings swaying, and an emergency warning blared for people, calling on them to take shelter. But officials say that no tsunami alert has been issued. Our reporter in Tokyo is Michael Penn. He said he felt that quake. Have a listen.
I was here basically in a similar location to where I am now. This bookshelf behind me, many books almost fell. I was looking at the bookshelf. I got out of the way in case it did fall. In the kitchen, many items did actually fall onto the floor. So it's a pretty strong earthquake. It's right here in the Tokyo area, in an area called Chiba Prefecture. At the moment, this is still kind of early times. So we know that, for example, the bullet trains have shut down and transportation networks are all going through their inspection processes. Japan is a big earthquake country, so this is hardly something which is unusual. So they have a whole procedures which they go through, and we're kind of doing that now. Based on past experience of an earthquake this size, it'll take probably 2, 3, 4 hours before we really have a full assessment of what kind of damage it did. But it was definitely a shaker, and there were some good jolts here.
All right, Michael, as you said, we'll wait a few hours to get a sense of the scale of what's happened with this earthquake. But just you mentioned the fact that Japan experiences earthquakes like this relatively frequently. There are processes in place, aren't there, in big cities like Tokyo to keep buildings upright. Talk to us a bit about those processes that are designed to keep people safe in events like today.
Oh, well, I mean, Japan is probably, certainly one of the most earthquake-prone countries in the world. It's right here next to a giant trench where major earthquakes are produced quite regularly. In fact, the Tokyo area has a huge earthquake basically once every 70 years or so. And the last one was in 1923, so we're actually overdue for it. But the building construction codes and everything in Japan is essentially built to withstand earthquakes. That means that they're a little bit more flexible, so that the buildings will actually shake rather than be very rigid and crack and breaks. And the technology of the country, assumes that there's going to be major earthquakes. And the processes, the society is very geared towards having disaster management systems in place at every level of local and national government. So, it's a very natural disaster, earthquake-prone country, and Japan is probably one of the best places in the world to be because they know how to handle it.